What is going on, everybody? Welcome to an absolute overlooked classic. Yes, it's Burnout 2, Point of Impact. And we're going to start it off, as always, with my favourite bit about the Burnout game. It's obviously Crash Mode. Oh yes, you can choose between this little compact hatchback, it looks like a Corsa, an SUV, a coupe, a pickup truck, a sports car, a roadster. The sports car, funnily enough, looks like a Mustang. Or we can go for a muscle car, which doesn't even look like a Mustang. Now we're going to do a downhill demolition, but I've forgotten you can change the car's colour as well, and the transmission. We're going to make it maroon, dark cherry red. Yes, this will be our colour, and we can also choose transmission. Between automatic or manual, we're going to go for an automatic transmission. Now let's get started with these crash zones. There's 3 that we'll have to get through. You can get bronze, silver or gold. Just have to speed down the hill on this one. It does definitely sound like a muscle car though, because I'm listening to it and it sounds like a big meaty V8, which is what you need in a muscle car. How? Please reconnect the controller to port 1. I don't even have an original Xbox. I know this is the original Xbox version, but I'm playing it backwards compatibility on the 360. But just look at that crash. This is what I love about Burnout Games. This is where it all began, the best bits all began. Wow. Caused a lot of crashes, caused a lot of carnage, a lot of damage, and I got a lot of money out of it. It's gonna multiply by 5. Oh yes. This is why I loved Burnout. This is better than Burnout Paradise, and we get bronze. Got a bronze medal. The crashes, at least, are a lot better than in Burnout Paradise, because there's more stop motion action. We've called ourselves Jerry in the game, and I would like to try that again and see if we can do an even better one and get gold. Hang on a second. Yes, that was an even better one, and we got gold! We got gold! Wow, absolute carnage. Now it's time for the second round. Let's see if we can make an even bigger crash than we did last time. We've hit a red pickup truck. How? If you guys are playing Burnout's Revenge on the Xbox 360, backwards compatible from the original Xbox, please tell me if you, in the comments down below, if you've had that problem. It just feels so unusual. I have a wireless controller, and the original Xbox had a wired controller, but I never even had that. And I won't even get one, and I never had one. I'll just stick with playing original Xbox games on backwards compatibility on the 360, the One, and in the near future the Series X, because I just don't feel that the original Xbox is worth it, especially as it's always had that red ring of death. And we got the bronze medal. Now we have to hit buses, so this is going to be the extremely difficult part, especially as we're in a low-slung muscle car. But let's see how we do on this highway at night. I've crash piled into all that cars. What? How is this possible? It's not fair. Oh, we've hit a bus. We're just rolling over into buses. There's loads of buses crashing into each other. Wow. A lot of carnage. This is what you call burnout. These crashes are a lot better than the ones in Burnout Paradise. I keep rambling on about it, but it's so true. I can't believe many of you guys don't play this game anymore. I'm just feeling a classic wave of nostalgia. It's awesome, and the graphics might have not aged that well, but it hasn't actually aged badly. We were unlucky we didn't even get a medal. We tried again and we got bronze, but I think we're going to leave it at that, because how can we hit buses on the middle of a junction that's already got a lot of traffic? I always struggled with this one when I played it on the PS2 as a child. Wow. Now it's time for us to go left and right. Alright, the choice is ours. And as you can see, we've switched to a pickup, which should be better for these types of missions. Because it's a larger vehicle, so it won't go flying all over the place like the muscle car did. And we've hit a bus. No! How? Why is this happening? Oh, but we've hit a bus. We've caused a lot of damage. Wow. There's a bus rolling over. There's a truck that's lost control. It's gonna crash. It's gonna crash. Please crash. Oh, yes, it has crashed. This is... wow. Wow. Sure you guys are enjoying this just as much as I am. Awesome crashes. Now we're just panning over the panoramic views. This is panorama. That's all we've got. And we get a silver medal! Better than what I was expecting. But it would have been even better if we got gold. Now we're on to the next round. Pardon me. And I believe this will be the final one before we move on to more serious things. Wow, we've crashed.
No! Not again! This game!
I will get mad the next time that happens. Promise me. But our truck's rolling all over the place. We've caused a huge pile-up. Loads of carnage. We've hit a forest. There's still loads of vehicles piling into each other. We've got a 12 times 12 bonus. This must get us at least silver or gold. If it doesn't, I'm gonna not be impressed. Please tell us what medal we've got. Please tell us what medal we've got. It must be silver or gold, please. Bronze, but at least we got something. Although I would have expected a silver or gold. Now it's time for us to hit the championship, which is practically the career mode of Burnout 2. They're going to start off in Airport Terminal 3, then ET8 Interchange, and then Palm Bay Heights. So this was the core mode, aside from the crashes of this classic game. And we're going to go for not the coupe, but the sports car that kind of looks like a Mustang. No, oh no, I forgot to change colour, but I think the grey might actually suit it. Second thoughts, it doesn't look like a Mustang. It looks more like an MR2, or it looks like a cross between a Mustang and an MR2. With the front of a Mustang and the rear of an MR2, it sounds more like a sports car than a muscle car, so I can see why they classified it as a sports car. Even though it's got the front of a Mustang and the back of an MR2. This is what Burnout is all about, and the old school Midnight Club, and some other races where they're not licensed to use car manufacturers' models. You get fictional made up cars that use bits from loads of models. Loads of models. Oh, I've just got an email from the Fordzilla Cup, and the date has changed. And the good news is that my time places me into the next round. Oh yes, I'm one of the fastest 40 drivers apparently. Just read this. Due to popular demand, we have had to move the date of the first round broadcast to the 22nd and 23rd of August. Please respond to let us know that I can still participate on the new dates. And we actually won that race. Sorry, I was just getting a bit distracted by the fact that I got a place on the Fordzilla esports team. We need to give our first name, last name, and our gamer tag, which must be the same as our Xbox tag, our date of birth, our email, our country of residence. It's only open to European residents, but we're in England, so that will be fine. And they will then follow up with a link to their dedicated Discord server. I'm in Fordzilla's Discord server, unless if that's a different one, and I do have access to Discord. If you guys want to follow my Discord, I've got the description in the link below. That is very exciting news. Sorry I got distracted there. I just got so excited. And I even received my place in the middle of recording this video. But back to Burnout 2. This and Need for Speed Undergrounds were the games that got me into racing games, aside from the early Fast and Furious films, when I was a very young child. No! How is this possible? Yeah, so I was a very young child, and when I first got my PS2, now! Stop distracting me from a very good story that I want to share with everyone. No! Why? How? How is this so faulty? Maybe it's because of the backwards compatibility. So, when I first got my PS2, some of my first two racing games were this and Need for Speed Underground, and of course Formula 1 2002 and Formula 1 2003. Yeah, whilst the Formula 1 games got me into simulation racing, Burnout 2 and Need for Speed Underground got me into arcade racing, and they were both a whole lot of fun, and I found them all really difficult when I was a child. But over time, although I sadly don't have my PS2 anymore, I sold it, and I now have. I just had to revisit that classic childhood nostalgia, which is why I picked the original Xbox version of Burnout 2 up to play on backwards compatibility on the 360, and the PC version of Need for Speed Underground just to relive my glorious childhood days. But it's just so fun playing these wonderful classics again at 21 years old, nearly turning 22 in 2020. Yeah, one way to keep myself entertained during this pandemic, and to entertain you guys as well. So I'm glad I got to do a video on this game. The graphics may look very old school, but the gameplay has aged very well, and we're on our final lap. We're hitting a boost with the NOS. Look how far ahead we are. We're getting drifts. We are absolutely winning. No! How is this happening? But we have won. We are the class of the field. We have got a gold medal. Welcome to Palm Bay Heights. So this is the final round, and we are racing once again in our Mustang MR2 hybrid, and we've got a red compact hatchback, or that blue coupe might actually be the MR2, because it kind of looks like an MR2 from the back as well. I haven't seen the front, so I can't tell if it's based on an MR2 from the front as well. But the compact little hatchback kind of looks like a Vauxhall Corsa to me. It either looks like a Corsa, or it might be a cross between a Corsa and another compact hatchback from the early 2000s. But enough glossing over the fictional cars that we get in certain games like Burnout and the old school Midnight Club. But I'm just enjoying this game so much. If you've remastered Burnout Paradise, Criterion, I have a message for you. Why can't you do a remaster of Burnout 2 Point of Impact? It's another great game that was sadly overlooked, probably because a year later Need for Speed Underground came out and everyone flocked to that. But a remaster of this game would be so cool, so that we can relive even younger childhood memories on the current gen, Xbox One, PS4, even the Switch, and then have it an even more enhanced experience with even better graphics on the next gen, like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. That would be awesome. Criterion kind of made and broke my childhood with this game. Same with EA and Need for Speed Underground. And we have got a gold medal. And this and the original Burnout weren't actually from EA. No, they were from Acclaim. And this was the last one from Acclaim. Because in 2004, we actually won the tournament and won the trophy. Yeah, because and we have unlocked Face Off 1 on Interstate Loop and the Run to the Sun. Let's do those. The Face Off 1s, wow, those were very intense as a child. Because it was like a boss race. It gave me my first exposure to boss races. It was one of the early day, old school boss races. We're on Interstate Loop. And what was I saying again? Acclaim went bankrupt in 2004, so the Burnout franchise and Criterion Games were sold to EA, and this has been like that ever since. And whoa, did you see that hot rod? Really? That was awesome. How do you do that? Because when I was a child, I couldn't figure out, as soon as I got the hot rod, how to wheelie it. Is it just some unique superpower that the bosses have in this game? It surely must be, because there's no other way to describe it or do it. But it was very quick for us to catch up with it, because as you can see, we are back in the muscle car, and it might actually look like a 1990s Camaro or Firebird, but it's sometimes hard to tell because these are all fictional models using parts based on real life cars. But we are now in the lead, and we're going to get that hot rod easy peasy. Finding this a lot easier now than when I played this as a kid on the PS2. The legend that is the PS2. But we are about to head to the finish. No, we're not finishing. We've got 3 laps. But we are leading and we're pulling away from that hot rod. He cannot even keep up with us. We are boosty boy. We are the boosty boy. We are boosting. And our time limit has extended. We got a burnout. We're getting near misses. Air. Boost. I just love the nostalgia from this game. I wish Criterion remastered this game. Because of how cool would that be? Burnout 2 Point of Impact remastered, coming to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. That would be the best day ever. And we have unlocked a hot rod. So let's give it a test, shall we? Let's drive it out in the P2P1 in the Ocean Sprint where we race along city streets. That was very difficult as a child. But we're going to use that to test out our new wicked fiery hot rod. Oh yes. And there's no courses to race against in this game. So that is where it gets really difficult. Like, they've all boosted ahead of me. Where's my boost? We need to get some boost so we can get ahead in this sprint. And please don't annoy me with the controller disconnects. I'm gonna get mad if it happens. Trust me. We had a massive crash, but at least it respawns you. Like, this taught me a lot about racing games, along with the early Formula 1 games and Need for Speed Undergrounds. I got to learn so much that I have applied those and seen those and worked them out in all future racing games, and they even carry on today. No! Stop it! What is wrong with this game? This is the only thing I don't like about you, game, that the controller disconnects at random intervals. Now we have a long road ahead to get to first place, but we can see the first 2 cars ahead of us, and we're going to keep up with them and get ahead of them. Let's boost, shall we? Boosty boy. Boosty. Boosty. Oh yes, we're back in first place. No, we've made a bit of a mistake, but we're still in first. They cannot keep up with us. And I think we're about to finish the Ocean Sprint. And we have got a win. No, that was the checkpoint. I called out the finish too soon. But we are just pulling so far ahead that this is just gonna get better, ain't it? And like I was saying, what I got in first experience from the first games I played even carry out in the more modern games, in today's racing games that I played, like Need for Speed Heat, The Crew 2, Forza Horizon 4, GTA 5 and so on. Like, if it wasn't for Burnout 2, Need for Speed Underground, or the Formula 1 games from 2002 and 2003, I probably wouldn't have had a clue about these games, or even discovered them or played them. So I've got to owe these games to this. Wow, this is one of Criterion's finest moments, and we have won. And we unlocked a couple more things. Unfortunately, the video just decided to cut, which I am not happy about. But we have unlocked Pursuit on Ocean Sprint, and also the Winding Road Grand Prix that is raced over 4 tracks. And that is all we have got time for anyway. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. Please make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this taste of nostalgia. Comment down below, subscribe if you're a new viewer, and check out my social media links in the description below. And I shall see you guys next time. Peace!
Serious.